Hi, welcome to the Crafts channel. My name's Corinne Brad and today I want to show you some fun things to do with alcohol. Not alcohol as you would think it. This is actually isopropyl alcohol, or isopropanol for short. It's poisonous, so don't be thinking of drinking it. But it does do great things to alcohol markers. You can create tiles, sort of unicorn style or galaxy. And this effect will work on any non-porous ceramic surface. It will also work on glass, so you can make a great little tea light holder. Sorry, that's a bit of my hair stuck to that tea light holder. And it doesn't have to be a completely flat surface either. If you're careful as you work the magic, you can do it on bowls, virtually anything. So, we will start. I'm going to do it on a plain white household tile here. I've got this isopropanol in a spray bottle. Just be careful of the type of plastic bottle that you use, because it has been known to melt through some plastics. I had a famous incident with some red alcohol based paint that I watered down and put it in one of those little plastic measuring glasses, and when I came down the next morning it was all over the floor. So we won't be doing that again. Isopropanol is one of these things, I think it's the alcohol that they use in hospital hand sanitizer gels. It cleans, it's antibacterial, it just cleans all dirt off and it evaporates really quickly. So make sure your tile is nice and clean with a squirt of it. And then we'll begin colouring. Now I want to do, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'd like to do a rainbow effect. This is a Copic marker, alcohol-based marker. You can also use Sharpies with it as well. You can't use all alcohol inks. I have tried it with those alcohol inks that you get in bottles for special effects, and it just doesn't want to mix with it. Now whether it's because there's a different type of alcohol in those markers, in those inks, I don't know. But as I say, this is isopropanol and it's different from methanol and ethanol, which is what you actually get in drinking alcohol. But I'm not a chemist. In fact, I suffered really badly at chemistry. So I can't be 100% sure of why they don't work, but I think it's got something to do with the size of the molecule of the alcohol. If you're in any doubt, just before you start doing a project like this, just try it with the pens that you have. Now all I'm doing is I'm using the broad tip of my alcohol marker and I'm scribbling to my heart's content all over this tile. You can of course use the brush tip, but you get a quicker coverage with the broad tip. And the colours that I'm using here, they're quite strong pigments, and I've also got quite weak pigments, because you want a certain amount of what they call white space in your project. It doesn't want to be solid colour. And the other thing you want to be wary of is colours that you're putting next to each other, is if they blend together, what colour will they look like? So we have this here, we have our squirty bottle, and I'm just going to spray the surface with this, and I'm just going to leave it and you can see exactly what happens. So it's melting the ink, or dissolving the ink, and they're starting to merge in with each other. It's drying here already. I'll give it a bit more of a squirt. And the closer you hold the bottle, the more isopropanol will end up on it, and you can see it's starting to blend and merge. So I'm just going to let this dry, and then what I want to do is I want to add some extra detailing in it, and we'll do this with a paintbrush and a syringe full of isopropanol. You could use a pipette. I've used a syringe because I know that it's the same kind of plastic as I've got in my bottle, and I don't know whether or not it will melt in a syringe. When I was transporting all the stuff here, I didn't really want to risk it. So as you can see, that's all blurred in and merged in. And if I tilt it to the light, it is starting to dry. So I'm going to get some darker colours here. And no, that's not dry there yet. Do you know what? Let's speed up the drying process a bit. Actually, that's quite nice. What you can do is you can blow your colours. Make sure you blow, don't inhale, because this stuff is, well, I don't want to be floating out of this room. Right, now, where's the dry bit? There we go. I'm going to do like a Pontiel effect here. Just with some darker shades. And let's have this pink as well. Cool, that's a hard nib on that one. The great thing about this is you can just sit and potter. The danger is actually knowing when to stop. But it is quite fun. And you can work this thing over and over and over again. And if it all ends up and you think, oh, that looks really horrible, you simply spritz it with isopropanol, wipe the whole thing off with a kitchen towel. Okay, let's just do it like that. And then you can either drop this on the top. I'll show you what happens when you drop it on the top. As I say, you can do it with a... Oh. And if you watch that, you'll see it start to spread out and it moves the ink away. Rather like, remember ink on blotting paper that you used to do as a science experiment? You put the water on it and the ink slowly blots away. But the other way you can do it is if you just put a bit on the end of your paintbrush, you can simply merge these colours in and you've got a lot more control. And you get that sort of bubbly effect almost. And you can carry those colours on. The only danger with this project really is knowing when to stop. My daughter and I spent a good morning in the kitchen just playing about with different colours on tiles, because I've never seen a teenager so excited that I'd actually bought some isopropanol alcohol, because she'd been looking on Pinterest and BuzzFeed and she went, oh, the things I can do with isopropanol, Mum. So, you know, little things, please, little minds. Just going to put a little drop there. And I'm just going to put a little bit of a different pink around here. And a bit of that gold. And a tiny spritz, just to blend it in. So it's missing. Oh, that's why it's missing. Hold on. Again, just paint over these bits, spread it out. Blend them in. Soften those edges a bit with the paintbrush. And then just leave it. Now that's quite a pale, subtle tile. As I say, you can work it over and over again. What I do is let that dry completely and let the alcohol dry completely. And then if you think, oh, it's a bit dull, I want to add some more. And you can just keep adding and adding. This one took about 3 applications because I wanted it to be quite dark, but I still wanted it to have that starry effect. This one here, what I've actually done is I've sprinkled some copper mica powder on it before I spritzed it, because I wanted a metallic effect and I didn't have any metallic alcohol markers that would work with the isopropanol. But as I say, a fine dusting of mica powder works wonders. And then once it's completely dry, if you drop your tile and break it, if you spray it with a clear varnish, I mean I've used Rust-Oleum's Crystal Clear, spray it from a distance and just do a very light coat, let it dry, do another light coat. And what it means is it won't rub off at all. There's a certain amount of spirit in that spray paint, but there's not enough to make it distort your design. And as I say, you can have, I mean this looks like marble, this bowl and picture frame. So it will work with any sort of plain ceramic blank. Don't use unglazed ones. What happens is it just sucks up the ink and then you can't get it to move on the surface. So have fun with it. Keep playing around. You know, keep adding to it as and when you feel like it until your design is perfect. You know, a drop here and a drop there, just to blend the colours in. But as I say, the worst part is knowing when to stop, when you've got the perfect tile. Now I'm going to keep working on this. I hope you get yourself some isopropanol and some alcohol pens and work on it yourself, and we'll see you next time. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.